Hi everyone, welcome to Frack the console. We're here again to talk about all things fracking and all things video games. I'm Tyler, welcome back, and here to introduce my cohorts. With us today we have CJ McCree.
Yo, 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 happy to be here.
Cool. And we also have world traveler here, Kenny.
Hey.
Hey. Cool.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go. We're here to be watching some of the gameplay from Breath of the Wild 2, and I'm excited. And here we go. We're watching in 3, 2, 1, play.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. First, I have some news. Development on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete. Thank you very much for waiting. Many of you are looking forward to this game, and we've released a few trailers so far. Although it'll just be a brief glimpse, I'm going to actually play the game for you all today and show you what it's like.
Nice.
Okay? Let's begin. Here we are, in the land of Hyrule. Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways. If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches. In this game, the vast world of Hyrule reaches high into the sky. You'll notice some landmasses floating up there. We call them Sky Islands. You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up?
Tell us.
If we take a look,
Right?
oh, something's falling from the sky. Do you see it? I wonder what that
But-
is. Let's head over to it.
This is incredibly interesting because Legend of
We're
Zelda
almost at the
lore,
spot where
like,
the object fell.
none of them are direct sequels, and I feel like this is the first
Here
one.
it
That,
is.
well, yes, Legend of
Few
Zelda
of them.
Let's
too,
use one
but
of
yeah,
those.
very
It's been
few
a
of
while.
them are
It's been
direct.
a while.
If
Yeah.
you do this on the
Yeah.
rock that just fell,
Because you got Majora's Mask, you got
look, it started rising.
Yeah, they're all in different
Nice
time
This
Nice.
power
zones.
is known as
Yeah.
recall, which rewinds an object's movement. Since I just used recall on the fallen rock, I can now rise into the sky. We're a lot closer to the Sky Islands. Let's use the paraglider to reach one of them. There are a few other Sky Islands floating here too. I made it. There
This
are
game's
lots of ways to
gonna be
reach the
so much
Sky
fun.
Islands, so we hope you'll try a few different methods. Okay, now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures. Some trees are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface, though. Let's walk around for a bit. There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up.
A branch.
It might come in handy later.
Yeah. This game is going
Let's
to
continue.
test limits and patience, in a good way.
it's gonna test your hardware too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like this stream.
Oh,
Yeah.
something's there. This is a brand
A room
new enemy
closer to
called
my
a
internet.
construct. We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up. Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and we defeated it. Moving on. We've now explored more of this Sky Island. As expected, fighting with just a branch won't get us very far. Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here, and do this, look, we can stick them together.
Oh,
We created a
use it.
makeshift hammer. This is called fuse. You can stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects. Let's take on another construct with this fused weapon. We're dealing with two of them at once. Oh, we beat one. The weapon's attack has definitely improved. The other branch broke, but this weapon has much better durability. You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse ability. You can fuse two weapons, for example. If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork, we can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
Brings a new
With
meaning
this,
to
we don't have to
touchdown
get
with
too
a
close to
10-foot pole.
enemies, and we can safely attack
That's
from a
like, yeah.
distance.
It's literally like 10 feet.
You can also fuse arrows with materials in your inventory. For instance, try fusing this leaf to an arrow. Fuse an ice elemental material to an arrow and you can freeze faraway enemies. Very useful. In addition, let's see. Ah, there's a bird flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land. So, at times like these, here's an eyeball you
If
can
you
get
hit
by
it with that
defeating
one
monsters.
shot, man, I was gonna-
Fuse it to an
Right.
arrow and... Look,
Homing
it homed in on the target. Let's try this on another bird.
I always dig it when RPGs with like a
I'll
lot
just
of
fire in that general
crafting and
direction.
materials that you
It's very
collect, just like give you
Depending on
something
what
to
you
do
stick
with
together,
that.
the fuse
Yeah.
ability could
Yeah.
also be beneficial for hunting. I fused a mushroom to my shield. Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom. Let's fight an enemy with this. I blocked with the shield. Okay, there's smoke now. The enemy's lost sight of Link, so... attack! Even if you struggle with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands even have rivers. We'll want to cross this one, but swimming across it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat. Of course, there isn't anything that resembles a boat around here. So, we'll lift up
Just
this
about to
log and
craft.
attach it to a second log.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole raft out of logs. That's
Let's do
awesome.
one more. We'll bring this over here and attach a third log. It's a makeshift raft. This is another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the logs are currently attached, they can be detached. Let's modify the shape of the raft. You can always attach things or detach them like this. Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version of a boat. However, it won't move in its current state, so we'll need something to propel it forward. There's something here. Let's try hitting it. Oh, wind. It's blowing wind. Looks like we found a fan. Why don't we try attaching it? We'll attach another one. This should make the boat well balanced. Okay, they're attached. All right, let's try moving the boat. Hey, it's moving. It's sailing pretty fast with the wind from the fans. Since we added 2 fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time. All right, we reached the other side. In the most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able to freely craft them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure.
The crafting and the
even more new abilities.
exploration is going to be
Take this building over
hundreds of hours of
here.
gameplay
Okay,
alone.
watch this.
Yeah.
Seems
Look,
really
I
interesting.
passed right through the ceiling.
Right?
This new ability is called Ascend. If you're in a place with a ceiling, you can go through to the floor above you. There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere. For example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it. If we use the ability here, come on, keep going. Okay, we emerged at the
Nice.
top of the hill. In the
There are, like,
previous game,
no
you had
limits
to
to
use
this?
stamina to climb a mountain.
Right?
But in this game,
Like, you
if
can
there's
just-
a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up.
Get
Here's
anywhere
another example.
on any
That's
map.
You're stuck in
actually,
a cage.
yeah,
If
that's
it's
a
got a
really
ceiling,
nice quality
you
of
know what
life
to do, right?
improvement.
Exactly. Oh, there's another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah! It blew me away with wind. Looks like it's got some sort of fan. Ah! I got pushed off!
Whoa.
Oh well, let's just return to
Right?
the surface. You can quickly
pretty
descend
cool.
from the sky to the surface like this. It feels so good. In the sky, you'll be able to look out across the land.
It's a huge
You can
map.
also search for destinations that pique
Yeah,
your
that's pretty
interest.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Once you've chosen your destination, you can speed things up, like this. Let's dive into this river. And we're back on the surface.
I see Link is invincible.
There are still so many things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now.
Nah, he's only got 4 hearts.
What did you think? Some of Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game. I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too.
Oh, the
In this
community
game,
is
you can
gonna
do a lot of things
lose their
just by
mind.
thinking about what's even possible.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule, and we hope you'll use your imagination to explore it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.
Okay. When is this coming out again?
May
May
And
what,
le-
13th, I want to say?
12th? Yeah, a month away.
Oh, May 12th. Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna stop it here.
I think
All
it's
right.
crazy, like, because, when when Breath of the Wild came out, it was such a revolution for, like, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Namely Nintendo games, namely Zelda games, but, like, a lot of things took their cues from this that is, outside of Nintendo as well. But I kept wondering, like, you're doing a Breath of the Wild 2, like something like Kenny was saying when you hopped on, like they don't really do Zelda sequels. Like
Mhm.
you're doing a sequel to one of the biggest, like, Switch games, but one of the biggest games, you know what I mean? One and a well-beloved game. Like, what is
Yeah.
that gonna look like? How is that gonna expand what Breath of the Wild is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, looking at this, I think it's really interesting. Like, they expand ways that you can interact and explore the world. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a really cool like direction to take it. You know what I mean? Like if all right, we already blew people's minds with like how expansive we can make this world and how it just kind
Yeah.
of like do whatever you can make this world. Now like you can do that. You can kind of F with the world too. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, and like it definitely seems like they're like, well, what do we do with the world that we built, and how do we make this like I don't think enjoyable is the right way to phrase it, but just like how do we expand upon it? And they found like kind of like good little unique ways to do it, like fusing items, the floating islands, like the movement and all that. It seems like they've done a really good job of being like, well, we know what people liked in the first one. What can we add to the second one to spark one creativity, but also like enjoyment and exploration, I guess. So it feels like they've done a really good job here.
Yeah, and Kenny, during the React, you mentioned I pointed out there's a lot of quality life improvement too. Like climbing mountains was such a bitch in the first one.
In the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just like to point this out about Nintendo. Like Nintendo they're always like a sleeper. Like and I like it like these big gaming conventions, you'll have companies like Ubisoft, which are like bends over backwards to make like a fake gameplay thing just to try and sell games. And Nintendo, like out of nowhere, like, hey, we've been cooking on this game for like 4 years. What do you guys think? It's like
here's me playing 10 minutes of it as a demo.
Yeah.
And it's like, how is this not out right now? It looks done and polished.
Yeah. Here's a demo of me like picking up a stick, and then it's like blowing mind of mechanics. I'm a super big fan, and I played hundreds of hours of Breath of the Wild, and I'll definitely be playing hundreds and maybe even more of Tears of the Kingdom.
Sometimes I forget that Breath of the Wild was like a launch title for the Switch, because the
Switches
we're what 6 years into the Switch's lifespan at this point.
Is it 6?
At least,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Right. And so there's been a lot of improvement and growth since then, for sure. And now we have the OLED version and everything, but something Nintendo's always been great at as as the lifespan of the console goes on, they know how to get the most out of those consoles. And now it seems like maybe we're toward the end of the Switch lifespan and might start moving towards Switch 2, but they're like, here's a game that we have dedicated time and effort into, and you are going to get hundreds of hours of gameplay out of this because we've dedicated time and effort into it. It's one of the reasons why I'm never hesitant to buy a Nintendo title, because they put effort and time and care into a lot of these things. So I'm excited.
To that point, like one of the things I was thinking as we're watching this trailer, and it's like, man, this just looks fun. And a lot of like Nintendo, like their aim seems to be like it's always gameplay first, you know what I mean? And that's, I think, one of the main reasons why Nintendo's even still here. Like, you know what I mean? Like they started as one of the big ones, as one of the only ones here, but that doesn't mean necessarily that their place was like secure, you know what I mean? Like Sega's not really making consoles anymore, like you know, Atari, what, you know what I mean? Like other companies that are still in the space but not doing what they were doing. But one thing Nintendo always has, you know what I mean, is that gameplay first. Make the game fun, and then, you know what I mean, like there's no great Mario story, right? You know what I mean? It's just a freaking game about a dude hopping around. But
I mean, to what you're saying, Link in his entirety has said less than 10 actual words. Like, and yet here we are 30 years later, and it's still captivating as a story mechanic. So
yeah, Nintendo's been around for over 100 years. They were like a
Yeah.
board game company, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that there is a constant, because CJ, exactly what you said is right. They survived Sega's onslaught of the 90s. They survived PlayStation being the first to have CD gaming things,
and 3D polygons.
yeah, and Xbox is like, we're the future, and then Nintendo, they've stayed true to their roots, and I'm glad they did. I'm glad we still have games that I don't have to download like 5 gigs a month just to keep playing.
Mhm.
Story-based things, that's a dying thing in the gaming industry, but it's making a comeback this year, and I'm grateful it is. There's so many new games coming out, but I don't think any of them have really taken the as much risk as this one, taking such a staple and integrating all these new mechanics.
And
Yeah.
Nintendo's always kind of been that company. They're
Mhm.
they're one to gamble a little bit more on themselves. And one of their big things is like innovating to the next level. And so like the Switch within itself was, well, it's a screen and controllers that can connect to the screen or be independent. And they've kind of like moved along the way, and they've had successes and failures, but the Nintendo Switch has just constantly been uh, a success again and again and again. And as long as they keep doing games like this, I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah. All right. Well, that about wraps it in time for this one. Do you guys have any more final thoughts you'd like to share?
Bring it on, right? Like
Yeah.
bring this game on already, right? It looks really awesome, and like kind of what we were kind of saying before. I do hope that when it comes out, like it blows minds, and I don't mean in the way that like it should be a win for Nintendo, but in the way that like fans want this too. You know what I mean? In the way that people have been waiting for this since they played the first one, this new game, and they wanted to kind of do something similar to them that the first one did. You know what I mean? I hope that this does that for them.
Yes, sir. Kenny, anything else you want to squeeze in?
I'm with CJ there, and like the first one kind of blew us away, and I'm hoping that they can do that, repeat that performance again with this one.
Yep. True dat. All right, everyone. May 12th, 2023. You can get Tears of the Kingdom, and we'll be playing with you guys when it's out. We'll catch you guys next time here on Frack the Console.